All right, this is one of my other projects. A couple years ago, right before I bought this house, I bought this Colorado, and I hadn't owned one. I kind of wanted to own one. I've driven one around a parking lot. That was about it. And I saw this on Marketplace, and I went and looked at it, and it had air ride. And I don't hate air ride. I've had air ride on this truck at one point, but there was some stuff that was done kind of goofy, and I didn't think much about it. So, but I bought the truck. Then I started pricing out how to fix the air ride how I wanted it. And one of the things that was missing was an engine and tranny. Is it latched? I don't know if I latched it in there. But yeah, it sounds like it was. But my goal was to put a big block in it. A lot of guys tell us swap these. And then in 09, I think the factory started putting 5.3s in these. But it was just there was a bunch of goofy stuff done that I didn't like. And then I went on this quest of trying to find a frame that wasn't, because they cut the whole back of the frame and stuff. And they've cut off the mounts for the coil spring and strut. And the weird thing about these trucks is they have coil spring and strut and torsion bar. And you can have a two-wheel drive with coil spring and strut. You can have two-wheel drive with torsion bar, or you have four-wheel drive with torsion bar. And so over the past, it's now 2 years, last year I went to, there was a guy parting out a crew cab Colorado, and I was like, hey, can you send me the VIN? Because I was trying to make sure it was coil spring strut front. And he said some ridiculously low price and said, just come get it. Or I was like, okay, whatever. And I didn't really think about it. So I drove from one end of the state to the other to get this frame. But it comes to find out it was four-wheel drive. I was like, oh, well, that's not the frame I want, but for the price, I'll... And it came with some more parts, but it didn't have a title, and there was everything. They pulled the motor out, they cut the core support and everything else. So I was like, whatever. But I've had this for a while now, and I'm still looking for a frame. And then recently, Colorado number 3 popped up on Marketplace, and he said it had a miss, and I kind of knew what the miss was, but there was more to the story that I didn't know about until after I sent him pictures of what the damage was. But these are kind of retarded to work on. It's a Zuzu. It's a Zuzu overhead cam inline motor. They make them in 4-cylinder, they make them in 5, and they make them in 6-cylinder. This one had the 4. That truck actually came with a 5-cylinder. But anyways, so I got it apart. It had, I don't know what I did with it, but it had what I thought was wrong with it. I don't know where I stuck them at. I might have chucked them in the trash. Off the top of my head, I don't know. I set them down somewhere. I wanted to show you the bad one, but I'll just put a picture in and show you because I got a picture of it. But that's what drives me crazy. Well, anyways, it had a burnt valve, and it's weird. Whatever metal they use for the valves on these it's always exhaust valves. So, needless to say, I got it apart. Had to do some research. I was trying to find better valves to put back in it, because I'm keeping the motor and doing. You got to do all this work with this dual overhead cam motor, and to get it back together, I kind of want it to last and not take it apart again. But anyways, I get it apart, get the valves for it, get everything put back together. Doing some research on the Atlas Performance Group. They're also really bad about these head bolts. I got lucky, I guess. But normally when you go take the head off of these things, it'll break all the head bolts. Excuse me. Right in that goofy little area right there. And then you got to drill and tap all the remaining thread pieces and pull it out of the block. Well, luckily I didn't have to do that. But after speaking to the guys in the performance group, the early LS head studs are the same thread. They're a little long, as you can see, but they work fine. So I've did that in case I ever had to pull it apart again. And at least it's just head studs and I can unscrew them and they don't break and I don't have to thread chase stuff. But what I'm doing is I'm going to fix this, make sure the truck runs and drives good. When I get to a point, I'm going to pull the engine and transmission out of this. I'm going to take that frame, and the engine and transmission and the frame are going to go in that. And since it's, it's a bastardized truck, it'll just be my parts hauler beater. I'll get a different bed that has the floor still in it, and that'll be my parts beater, and then I'll big block swap this. I've got a T56, and I was going to do the 8/8 swap. I still haven't decided yet. I might, I've been wanting to build a test mule to do the Gen 7 big block 8.1 bottom end, but put the 8/8 heads and 8/8 intake on it. So I might do that in this. And have a big block Colorado. There's already a couple of them. So unfortunately I got beat to the punch on that one. There's one that's there's an Extreme that's got a turbo 8.1 in it. And there's at least two other ones that are, one's a hot rod and one's a four-wheel drive truck. But there'll still be only a handful of them in the country, so. But that's one of my many projects that I'm working on right now.